Accused number 4 in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial, Tshidi Madia, has lost his bid to have the charges against him dropped. His application was heard in the High Court in Pretoria on Tuesday. The court found that there's prima facie evidence linking Madia to the crime. Friends, colleagues, and family members of Tshidi Madia have been paying tribute to the late EWN politics editor. Madia passed away last Wednesday after a short illness. Editor-in-chief at EWN, Nisa Ali, described Madia as a dedicated journalist who pursued excellence.
Like any good journalist, Tshidi fought for her stories and for the lead right up until the end. Tsidi's journalism wasn't about popularity. While she was affectionately called South Africa's head girl, it was never a title she pursued. What she did pursue was excellence, truth, analysis, knowledge, and the determination to reach her audience, informing and educating. Even among her detractors, nobody can deny that Tsidi's content elicited emotion and reaction.
A state prosecutor says investigators uncovered a fraudulent Eswatini identity card linked to Vusimuzi Cat Matlala. This revelation adds to the concerns around his bid for bail as he faces charges of attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and money laundering over the alleged 2023 hit on his ex-girlfriend, Tebogo Tsobajan.
To cross the border between South Africa and Eswatini. Paragraph 7. What is more suspicious is the fact that the applicant presents himself as Vusimuzi Dlamini on this identity card.
On the same breath, Matlala wants his seized cell phone and devices returned. He alleges that police have planted false information to bolster corruption claims against him made by KZN Police Commissioner.
It's written to the state to request the return of my mobile devices so that I can have them examined by my own expert to rebut what appears to be planted data information with a view to falsely incriminate me on these unsustainable charges. I have made this request following the revelations by General Makonazi that my mobile devices were handed to the Independent Directorate Against Corruption, ADEC. I have never authorized them to have possession, much less access to my electronic devices. I've also not been served with a warrant of search and seizure of my electronic devices by both the current investigating team and ADEC. I'm advised that there are strict procedures that must be followed in this regard, yet I have not seen any evidence in the disclosed copies of the docket that any such procedures were followed. 104. I suspect that the police, in regard being had to their tactics, have planted false information in my electronic devices, including the so-called Eswatini identity card. The state is yet to show me the original identity card as well as proof of application therefore. The state has refused to disclose the outcome of the forensic investigations emanating from my electronic devices seized during unlawful searches and seizures which took place during both December 2024 and May 2025. It is clear that there's something to hide.
Tourism Minister Patricia de Lille has defended her decision to dissolve the SA Tourism Board. De Lille addressed Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Tourism on Tuesday, saying the situation is under control. On 20 August, De Lille dissolved the board with immediate effect following a governance concern and questions over the board's leadership. The decision has come under widespread criticism.
There's absolutely no crisis. I've appointed a group of 6 South Africans to handle the affairs of South African tourism up and until I have appointed a permanent board. And the current group of 6 members will process all matters related to the CEO.
A former SA Tourism Board member, Opa Pilane, has accused De Lille of trying to tighten her grip on the entity, claiming she dissolved the board because it stood in the way of her agenda. They accuse the minister of applying the law when it is best suiting her.
The minister wants to run SAT, enabled by the CEO. We, as these board members, were obstructionist to the minister's agenda that she was pushing there. And the minister now speaks about procedure. When you submit an issue, you don't just circulate it. You send it to HR Remco if it affects staff. And HR Remco will discuss it and then present it to the board, as the minister is saying. You don't circulate it to everyone and then say you are not dealing with this matter. So minister cannot be selective in how she applies the law. Where it suits her, she says we must follow the law. When it doesn't suit her, she doesn't respond to our correspondence.
Orlando Pirates has confirmed that its coach and 5 other team members are in hospital after a road traffic incident on the R21 highway in the Eastern Cape. According to the club, the team was returning from their 3-0 victory over Chiba United in Gqeberha. The soccer club says its coach and his colleagues stopped to help at a scene of a collision when a Nissan Bakkie hit the stationary vehicle, striking them. All 6 suffered serious injuries.